There's much more to a tornado than just the combination of hot and cold air. Tornadoes are more scientifically involved than what people might actually think. They're usually the byproduct of a supercell thunderstorm. My name is Matt Wilcoxon, and I'm today going to be talking about how tornadoes form. I personally feel like this is an important topic to speak about because we usually have a pretty common streak of tornadoes here in Alabama, and it's an important part to think about some of the warning signs that you may see and you can verify in your own area. So today I'm going to talk about a couple of things. First of all, how tornadoes form. Secondly, the life cycle of a tornado, the lifespan it goes through. And then also some warning signs to look for in case you should have one in your area. So I'm going to begin by talking about first how tornadoes form. In the 2010 Universe Today article by Jeffrey Coffey, he explains how tornadoes form and get their unique funnel shape. First, the cold air will fall and the warm air will rise. The warm air will then work its way into a spiral funnel shape, which is what we know as the unique funnel shape of a tornado, and that's the first part of the process of the formation of a tornado. The next part is the wind is going to begin to change in direction, then it will increase in speed, and then lastly the cloud base will become a rotating cloud wall, and that's the whole process of a tornado and its formation. But next I'm going to talk about the life cycle that a tornado goes through and the life cycle it goes through before it just dissipates. So in the PBS Learning Media website, it has an article titled How Tornadoes Form, and it states that tornadoes usually follow a pretty predictable life cycle, and it's pretty common to go through this every time a tornado forms. But first, a small funnel forms at the base of the cloud wall. A wind called the rear flank downdraft will then touch the ground, and when it does that, it usually brings up a lot of dirt and debris with it, and that causes most of the damage to the foundations of buildings and other things like that. The funnel touches down right after the rear flank downdraft does, and then that's pretty much all the destruction part of the tornado. But once the rear flank downdraft quits bringing in warm air to the tornado, that's basically its life support, and once it quits bringing in the warm air, the tornado usually fizzles out. By then it just dissipates and goes away. But lastly, I want to describe some of the warning signs to look for in a tornado in case you ever happen to be in an area where one might form. So in the 2011 article from the Mother Nature Network website called Tornadoes Warning Signs by Ronnie Robbins, she talks about what to look for in trying to verify certain tornado recognition type deals. So first she says to look for dark greenish clouds. That's usually a pretty good indicator. Heavy rain followed by a very fast pickup in wind is another good indicator. And lastly, she said that wind changing from a very calm, just no wind at all, to a very fast rate of pickup speed to wind is usually a pretty good indicator that a tornado might be forming. But in conclusion, tornadoes are definitely more scientifically in depth than what even I thought and what most people might think they actually entail. But now at least you know how a tornado forms, the life cycle and lifespan a tornado goes through, and then some warning signs to look for in case you should ever be in an area where a tornado might form. But it was my pleasure to present to you this speech today about tornadoes. I hope that you learned something from it, and that you can take something away from it and learn some of the warning signs to look for. And but just thank you for listening. It was my pleasure today. Thank you.